Hey, welcome back to the show, everyone. Let's try and capture Chuck Schuldiner's Symbolic guitar tone using the Marshall DSL and a few stomps today. Getting into Chuck Schuldiner's tone, I'm fairly new to Death and the whole cult following that goes along with it. It's only because you guys have told me about it for so long, and I think I was listening to the wrong albums, but eventually when I was listening to Symbolic, there was something in there that just clicked with me and I just fell in love with it. I just really loved the whole way that Chuck Schuldiner approached his riffs and the whole, it's almost like a jazz fusion, a little bit of early Megadeth in there, like a piece sells with who's buying, but it's just awesome and I'm loving playing it. So working this out this week has been a lot of fun. So thank you guys. I'm sure most of you know watching this that Chuck actually had those valve state hybrid Marshall amps from the 90s and they didn't really get a good rap. I had a friend who had a 100-watt one growing up and I thought it was awesome because it was a Marshall and I had a Fender, but inherently those amps just had a funny scooped crunchy tone to them. It wasn't a tone that was really hard to create with the DSL. I just scooped it out a little bit and added a little bit of reverb just to suit the ambience on the album. Looking down at the stomps, for the rhythm sections, I just added the Boss NS2 in the noise gate and loop with the 4-cable method, just to quieten it down because there's multi-track guitars there. I've got 4 guitars at once in some of those spots. I've got the wild overdrive there just with the gain right down just for the rhythm parts. And for the solos, I turn up the gain just slightly. And running through the effects loop, I've got the MXR 10-band graphic EQ just to take a little bit of the mids out and just adjusting those frequencies just a little bit to make the guitar sit better and sound a bit more professional, I guess. And for the solos, I'm just using the delay and the chorus there. So it's all very basic, but gels together really nicely to create this awesome tones. So when I make these DSL capturing videos, I really like just to use the amp if I can. And the only reason I'm really using the pedal board today is because of the solos, and they've really got that delay chorusy effect, and I can't do that with the amp. So it's got to be on top, but if we were just going to do rhythms, I was tempted just to use the amp on its own and select the tone shift button, which really puts you into the ballpark off the bat. So using the stomps, this is my rhythm tone that I have right now. So that's what I have using the pedals, but just turning those off and we'll hit the tone shift button now. Using the tone shift, it just scoops everything out of the amp, and so I've just turned the mids up full and given it a little bit more treble and a little bit more gain just because I haven't got the OD in front, and this is what you get. I think the first Chuck Schuldiner riff that just blew me away and caught my attention was that I love that riff. It's awesome. But so hitting the tone shift there, I really can't fault that. It sounds as good to my ears as using all the stomps and the 10-band EQ, and use the tone shift and turn the mids up full and you have Chuck Schuldiner's tone on the DSL. That's awesome. It took me a little while to get into these guys, but I am now and I think it's really cool. So thank you guys, everyone that put me onto it. As for miking up the guitar signal today, I'm using the 112 Recto cab in the corner with the V30. I'm using the SM57 just off the dust cap, right on the cloth. And inside the isolation booth with all the foam, it's just a super clear signal and I love it. So a few reasons why I use it, and it's over in the corner. It doesn't pick up any of my string noise when I strum. It's in the isolation cab, and sitting right next to this amp here, you'd hear a lot of my guitar, and I have to just turn it up far too loud to enjoy. I'm sure you understand. Anyone wondering about the pickup that Chuck had in his guitar, it was a Damasio X2N, which was a passive high output ceramic. I'm using the active EMG in this, but it doesn't really matter. I just really wanted to show you this guitar at the same time, and it's not a new guitar. It's my old Alexi Leo 600 that I bought damaged all those years ago. The one that had all the skateboard thrash stickers and things all over it. I just wanted to take it back to stock, and I actually really didn't need that neck pickup that I put into it, and I blanked it up and filled it in and repainted it and resprayed it. And don't look too close, but it's a great guitar. I really like it just with the bridge pickup, just like Chuck's guitar. And so that's pretty much why I'm using it today. And you can see in those photos there, I've just filled in the cavity there with, I think I had a bit of beechwood lying around, and just used some epoxy glues and put it all together and sanded it down and resprayed it. Put a hole, the primer I sprayed on really thick just to fill in those holes, and you can see the photos from the process. But I love playing this guitar, and I sort of wish that I didn't add that second pickup when I did. I thought at the time it was a good idea, but I just like it with the single. All that said, I really had a great time learning those Chuck Schuldiner riffs this week. It's something new, and I was really excited to come home each day and just try and learn something else, some new technique, or just his bizarre scales were awesome. So thank you all. Thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate the feedback, and I'll keep this going. This is awesome. So take care, and I'll see you next week. Bye.